Good evening, everyone. Romney Smith at WTOC for the News Now. This is where we bring you local, regional, and national stories that we're working on right now, just to give you a little sneak peek on what's coming up in the later newscast. We're on various platforms right now. That includes our website, our apps, Amazon Fire, Roku, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. So lots of places you can get us. I want to highlight Facebook. That's actually where you can weigh in, say hello, let us know where you're watching from, or ask a question. I'll do my very best to answer any questions you have. If not, I can always go back in the comment section afterward and get you a link to what you want to know. All right, so a lot of people have been calling WTOC, emailing us and Facebooking us, asking us about the Jalapenos restaurant in Pooler. It is closed right now, and we did a little bit of digging around to figure out exactly why it closed. Danielle Lewan has more on that story.
Good evening from the Jalapenos in Pooler, Georgia, off of Morgan's Corner. This has been a big buzz across social media after we've read several Facebook posts of folks claiming that they got sick after eating here. Now, the restaurant has voluntarily closed as of today. Again, when I say voluntarily, the health department has not shut them down. The city of Pooler has not shut them down. They have done this on their own to see if they can figure out what might have caused these folks to get sick, if it was them or just happened chance. They are not owning up to their food getting these folks sick, and we also do not know what was the cause of that. But like I said, they have a crew in there right now looking into this, and they're also decontaminating the entire restaurant. Now, this door is blank right now. They did have a notice up there letting folks know of these circumstances. They said they could be closed up to the next 72 hours. I watched car after car drive up here to read that notice, and I look extremely disappointed. So they definitely have had a lot of business, but what might have caused this turn of event, we're looking into it right now, and we will keep you updated.
All right, so for those of you who might have chimed in a little bit late and didn't see Danielle's entire story, we're talking about the Jalapenos restaurant in Pooler, right off of I-95, right there in that little complex with several other restaurants and businesses. So again, like you heard her say, they were not shut down by the Food and Health Department. They were voluntarily closing themselves because of several reported foodborne illnesses, and they shut themselves down so they could do a deep clean of the entire restaurant, and then they're going to get inspected again to try to figure out what exactly happened. So that's the reason they're closed. A lot of rumors saying they got shut down, the health department came in. That is not true. They voluntarily shut themselves down to do a deep clean since they had multiple reports of people getting sick from the restaurant. So as soon as we learn more information on where it possibly came from, we will pass that information along to you. So we appreciate you guys for weighing in on that. Again, it's off I-16, pardon me. So, all right, moving on. GDOT is working to clean up under bridges in Savannah. Do you guys remember in Atlanta, they had that huge fire happen? Well, safety is a concern, of course, for all bridges. Health and access are other reasons for the cleanup. And GDOT is also looking at the future removal of homeless camps under the bridges in Savannah. We're told as of now, there is no plan for where the homeless camps will be relocated or when they will be moved. GDOT and the Chatham-Savannah Homeless Authority are working that out right now. In other news that we're following right now, more Chatham County voters will have an opportunity to vote on the brunch bill. I'm smiling because I absolutely love brunch, and I know a lot of you guys do too. Of course, that vote will determine whether or not Sunday alcohol sales will expand to go earlier. So last Friday, the Chatham County Commission decided to add the measure to November's ballot, giving voters that opportunity. Cities like Savannah and Tybee Island and Chatham County have added the vote to November's ballot. Chatham County is the latest, and it could have a big impact on businesses that serve alcohol in Sandfly and the unincorporated county. The brunch bill was signed into law this year and gives municipalities all across the state the option to put expanding alcohol sales on the November ballot. So the new sale time would move from 12:30 in the afternoon up to 11 a.m. for on-the-premises sales.
We would be able to start our sales an hour and a half early, which would bring in a lot of revenue for our alcohol, our mimosas and Bloody Marys and things that are more popular on Sundays, whereas we'd have to wait till 12:30. That's a whole hour and a half of sales that we could be doing when we usually open at 11. So, and then we can back Sunday up to 11 now.
Adamson estimates their business would make hundreds more, possibly even thousands, if alcohol sales started when they open for brunch. I don't know about you, but I love a good mimosa or Bloody Mary every now and then. I agree with the brunch bill. I want to get to Facebook because a bunch of you are weighing in on the Jalapenos restaurant that voluntarily closed themselves down after several reports of people getting sick after eating them. Again, the health department did not shut them down. I want to get to a few comments. Yeah, Morgan's Corner, let's say someone is guessing what they think will cause it. Let's see. Shakia, Perfectly Flawed, says, I wish more restaurants would do this voluntarily. I certainly agree with you. And Angel Bennett White says, glad they're taking care of the problem. Reed Allen Atkinson, I know what you like because you're saying I'll still eat there once they figure it out. Good to have confidence in the restaurant means you clearly like their food and their service. So thank you guys for weighing in. I did have another question on here about something separate that I did have the answer to you. Okay, Linda Walder Bryan asking, please share with us the recess policy for Savannah School Board. It's on the agenda this Wednesday. So they're actually considering getting rid of recess. Yes, small children that need to get out that energy. It is a proposal, not something that's gone through, just a proposal to consider possibly reducing or getting rid of recess in schools, in elementary schools in the Savannah-Chatham area. So that is something we are watching closely, and we'll let you know more on that later. All right, moving on. The Rape Crisis Center of the Coastal Empire is searching for a permanent executive director, but today the organization named the interim. This is Doris L. Williams. She is the Rape Crisis Center's interim executive director. She worked at the center for more than 10 years. Most recently, she has served as its office administrator. The board of directors has the utmost confidence in her, saying that she has the skills, dedication, and experience to guide the RCC as it carries forward its mission during the transition. All right. I can't do anything without talking about weather. So you guys know we're in our summer weather pattern. It's really, really hot right now. We also have scattered thunderstorms most afternoons. It was a hot one again today. We're watching the tropics. Let me show you my iPad right now. I have the latest tweet up from our chief meteorologist, Dave Turley. Tropical storm Chris is forecast to turn into a hurricane Tuesday. It's off the southeast coast right now. It won't really impact us directly in any of the models. However, it will increase a chance for us to get rip currents like we saw earlier today at Tybee. They actually changed their flag status to yellow because of that medium warning. WTOC Chief Meteorologist Dave Turley has a little bit more on the futurecast as well.
Whenever you see those dew points, that's a good indication of what your morning temperatures are going to be. So I do think we're going to start out with a few upper to middle 60s for the inland areas. Not so much along the coast. You see temperatures still in the lower 70s. But you get towards Statesboro, Glenville, Sylvania, Rincon, into the Ridgeland, Estill, Hampton area, mid to upper 60s starting out tomorrow morning. Once you get through tomorrow morning, here comes the heat. We're back in the mid-90s for highs on Tuesday, as you can see, into Wednesday, and even into our Thursday. Going to keep things hot before a slight cool down to more seasonable temperatures by the end of the week.
All right, and I want to give you guys just a quick programming note for WTOC viewers tonight. Normally at 9 p.m. we have a digital weather update for you guys. We will not be having that tonight. The reason is because we are going to live stream President Donald Trump. He will be making a primetime announcement about who will become the next Supreme Court justice. This will be Mr. Trump's second Supreme Court nomination, with the first being Justice Neil Gorsuch. You can watch that tonight at 9 p.m. on WTOC, or you can also stream it on our Facebook page. But I did want to give you that programming note. All right, a couple of you guys tuned in a little bit late and you're wondering what restaurant are we talking about? We're talking about Jalapenos off of I-16. The Jalapenos voluntarily closed themselves down because of several reports of people getting sick. There's some kind of foodborne illness they might think, but they're doing a deep clean of the entire restaurant right now to figure out what's going on. There were lots of rumors earlier that the health department shut them down. That is incorrect. The health department did not shut down Jalapenos. They voluntarily closed themselves down after multiple reports of people getting sick after eating there. So they're doing a very deep clean and working with the health department to figure out where the source of the sickness is coming from. As soon as we learn that information, we will pass it along to you. Of course, a lot of people like to eat there. It is jam-packed pretty much every time I go there at night. I mean, every time I've been there, you always have to wait for a table. You can't just walk in. So very popular spot, people getting sick, and they're voluntarily shutting down just to do a deep clean, making sure that their product, their food, their alcohol, their bar, their utensils, the plates, everything is super clean, making sure they can get to whatever is causing people to get sick. So we'll continue to follow that story. I know a lot of people want to know what made people sick, how many people got sick, and what was the source of the contamination. So we will let you know as soon as we know more information. All right, that's all we have for you tonight. Thank you so much for watching. We certainly appreciate your time. And keep in mind, Here's my name right there on Facebook, Romney Smith TV. Go be my friend. I'd love to connect with you, not only in the digital newscast, but on my Facebook page as well. And if you ever miss any story and you want to catch up, you can always go to our website, WTOC.com, as well as our social media pages. That's Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, and Twitter. We have a couple of different Twitter accounts. Follow us there at WTOC11. You can always stay connected to everything. Have a great night.
that better? Am I still in the way? The seat for the nominees is nominee.
Remember to give EPA credit if you use that ladder.
Yeah, it's easier. I don't have to take apart. Well, it's okay. If you can't do it, then could you tell me what it is?
If you want to send a note out that says like Giuliani is here, Rod Rosenstein is here, I can send it out, whatever.
No, I got it.
Say from both of us. Giuliani here, Rod Rosenstein here.
You know, if you can't see it, don't worry about it.
I think I saw some Fox News personalities. I think I saw some Fox News people here. Don't need to mention the Fox News. But that's interesting. Yeah, we saw Bill Shine on the way in. Mercedes, Sarah. Can I stand up now? This is Jim Acosta in the East Room. Jim Acosta in the East Room. Check, check, check. 1, 2, 3. Standing next to Jonathan Karl. Jonathan Karl's already broken the story as usual. He's playing catch up. My money's on Judge Jeanine. It's Jim Acosta at the White House. Jim Acosta at the White House. Check, check, check. Hello, hello.
I'm okay.
I'm just seeing if I can see anybody else coming in.
Hey, how you doing? Hey, what's up? About 2 minutes. Okay. Say what?
We're going to be passing the envelope this way with film it, with a card in it.
Okay.
Just pass it down.
Sure. Yep.
Okay. I think if we got Is it me or the tripod? Okay, thanks.
Hey, Charlie, I got you. Okay. Just quick. You got it. You got it. Sure.
Jim is Brooke. White balance. Hold on.
Oh, you're better now?
We're trying a bigger white balance.
Happy, content? It's weird lighting in here, so there's a lot of yellow light. So if it looks like I'm yellow or the shirt looks yellow, it's just the room is just very yellow. Not a lot of TV lights in here, yeah. Okay. Yep. We're going to go in there, yeah. 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 Certainly is. Well, it's still a closely guarded secret as to who the president is going to announce here in just a few moments. There has been a lot of buzz within the last couple of hours about Brett Kavanaugh. Obviously, that's somebody we're going to be looking to see with the president here in just a few moments, if that is indeed the president's pick for the Supreme Court. But just to give you an indication, Anderson, as to how tightly under wraps they're keeping all of this, there's a seat up in the front row of the East Room of the White House here, and it says nominee's spouse, and so that's how closely guarding they're keeping this secret. They don't obviously want to put the person's name on the seat card, but there are a lot of notable Republicans in the room right now. The vice president is just making his way into the room right now. The Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. Interestingly, because there's been so much speculation about the fate of Rod Rosenstein, the Deputy Attorney General, he's also in the room. Rudy Giuliani, the president's outside attorney, he is also here among many of the other top Republicans coming into the room. There's also a seat here for John Kyle, who is going to be the Sherpa for this Supreme Court nominee pick. Once it's announced up on Capitol Hill, the former Arizona senator, he's expected to be here as well. And so, Anderson, at this point, the reading of the tea leaves essentially has to come to an end at some point. But it does seem there's a lot of momentum moving in the direction of Brett Kavanaugh from the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals, somebody who is obviously known as a staunch conservative. I was talking to a source close to the White House just in the last hour who said, yes, this person, Judge Kavanaugh, is widely regarded as being very tightly linked with the Bush administration and George W. Bush. But people from all walks of life in the Republican Party are linked to the Bush administration and George W. Bush and George Bush's father, for that matter. And so this person was saying you sort of have to put that aside. But at the end of the day, Anderson, you can set aside all the reality TV show comparisons. This is a big night for the president. He is obviously now going to put his second pick on the United States Supreme Court in less than 2 years. That is an amazing accomplishment and ability for this president to do that. And at this point, Anderson, when you talk to a lot of Republicans, and I talked to them earlier today about the president and this pick he's about to make, one of the things they keep coming back to, the reason why they stick with this president, put aside his behavior, put aside his antics, put aside his tweets, is the ability of this president to shape the high court, the Supreme Court of the United States, and he's about to do that in the next several minutes. Anderson. You bet.
ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States.
My fellow Americans, tonight I speak to you from the East Room of the White House regarding one of the most profound responsibilities of the President of the United States, and that is the selection of a Supreme Court justice. I've often heard that other than matters of war and peace, this is the most important decision a president will make. The Supreme Court is entrusted with the safeguarding of the crown jewel of our republic, the Constitution of the United States. 12 days ago, Justice Anthony Kennedy informed me of his decision to take senior status on the Supreme Court, opening a new vacancy. For more than 4 decades, Justice Kennedy served our nation with incredible passion and devotion. I'd like to thank Justice Kennedy for a lifetime of distinguished service. In a few moments, I will announce my selection for Justice Kennedy's replacement. This is the second time I have been faced with this task. Last year, I nominated Judge Neil Gorsuch to replace the late, great Justice Antonin Scalia. I chose Justice Gorsuch because I knew that he, just like Justice Scalia, would be a faithful servant of our Constitution. We are honored to be joined tonight by Justice Scalia's beloved wife, Maureen. Maureen? Thank you, Maureen. Both Justice Kennedy and Justice Scalia were appointed by a president who understood that the best defense of our liberty and a judicial branch immune from political prejudice were judges that apply the Constitution as written. That president happened to be Ronald Reagan. For this evening's announcement, we are joined by Ronald Reagan's Attorney General, Edwin Meese. Ed? And Ed, I speak for everyone. Thank you for everything you've done to protect our nation's great legal heritage. In keeping with President Reagan's legacy, I do not ask about a nominee's personal opinions. What matters is not a judge's political views, but whether they can set aside those views to do what the law and the Constitution require. I am pleased to say that I have found, without doubt, such a person. Tonight, it is my honor and privilege to announce that I will nominate Judge Brett Kavanaugh to the United States Supreme Court. I know the people in this room very well. They do not stand and give applause like that very often, so they have some respect. And Brett's wife, Ashley, and their two daughters, Margaret and Liza, have joined us on the podium, and thank you and congratulations to you as a family. Thank you. Judge Kavanaugh has impeccable credentials, unsurpassed qualifications, and a proven commitment to equal justice under the law. A graduate of Yale College and Yale Law School, Judge Kavanaugh currently teaches at Harvard, Yale, and Georgetown. Throughout legal circles, he is considered a judge's judge, a true thought leader among his peers. He is a brilliant jurist with a clear and effective writing style, universally regarded as one of the finest and sharpest legal minds of our time. And just like Justice Gorsuch, he excelled as a clerk for Justice Kennedy. That's great. Thank you. Yeah. Judge Kavanaugh has devoted his life to public service. For the last 12 years, he has served as a judge on the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals with great distinction, authoring over 300 opinions which have been widely admired for their skill, insight, and rigorous adherence to the law. Among those opinions are more than a dozen that the Supreme Court has adopted as the law of the land. Beyond his great renown as a judge, he is active in his community. He coaches CYO basketball, serves meals to needy families, and, having learned from his mom, who was a school teacher in D.C., tutors children at local elementary schools. There is no one in America more qualified for this position, and no one more deserving. I want to thank the senators on both sides of the aisle, Republican and Democrat, for their consultation and advice during the selection process. This incredibly qualified nominee deserves a swift confirmation and robust bipartisan support. The rule of law is our nation's proud heritage. It is the cornerstone of our freedom. It is what guarantees equal justice. And the Senate now has the chance to protect this glorious heritage by sending Judge Brett Kavanaugh to the United States Supreme Court. And now, Judge, the podium is yours.
Mr. President, thank you. Throughout this process, I've witnessed firsthand your appreciation for the vital role of the American judiciary. No president has ever consulted more widely or talked with more people from more backgrounds to seek input about a Supreme Court nomination. Mr. President, I am grateful to you, and I'm humbled by your confidence in me. Thank you. 30 years ago, President Reagan nominated Anthony Kennedy to the Supreme Court. The framers established that the Constitution is designed to secure the blessings of liberty. Justice Kennedy devoted his career to securing liberty. I am deeply honored to be nominated to fill his seat on the Supreme Court. My mom and dad are here. I am their only child. When people ask what it's like to be an only child, I say, it depends on who your parents are. I was lucky. My mom was a teacher In the 1960s and 70s, she taught history at two largely African-American public high schools in Washington, D.C., McKinley Tech and H.D. Woodson. Her example taught me the importance of equality for all Americans. My mom was a trailblazer. When I was 10, she went to law school and became a prosecutor. My introduction to law came at our dinner table when she practiced her closing arguments. Her trademark line was, "Use your common sense. What rings true? What rings false?" That's good advice for a juror and for a son. One of the few women prosecutors at that time, she overcame barriers and became a trial judge. The president introduced me tonight as Judge Kavanaugh, but to me, that title will always belong to my mom. My dad went to law school at night while working full-time. He has an unparalleled work ethic and has passed down to me his passion for playing and watching sports. I love him dearly. The motto of my Jesuit high school was "Men for Others." I've tried to live that creed. I've spent my career in public service from the executive branch and the White House to the U.S. Court of Appeals for the D.C. Circuit. I've served with 17 other judges, each of them a colleague and a friend. My judicial philosophy is straightforward. A judge must be independent and must interpret the law, not make the law. A judge must interpret statutes as written, and a judge must interpret the Constitution as written, informed by history and tradition and precedent. For the past 11 years, I've taught hundreds of students, primarily at Harvard Law School. I teach that the Constitution's separation of powers protects individual liberty. And I remain grateful to the dean who hired me, Justice Elena Kagan. As a judge, I hire 4 law clerks each year. I look for the best. My law clerks come from diverse backgrounds and points of view. I am proud that a majority of my law clerks have been women. I am part of the vibrant Catholic community in the D.C. area. The members of that community disagree about many things, but we are united by a commitment to serve. Father John Ensler is here. 40 years ago, I was an altar boy for Father John. These days, I help him serve meals to the homeless at Catholic Charities. I have 2 spirited daughters, Margaret and Liza. Margaret loves sports, and she loves to read. Liza loves sports, and she loves to talk. I have tried to create bonds with my daughters like my dad created with me. For the past 7 years, I have coached my daughters' basketball teams. The girls on the team call me Coach K. I am proud of our Blessed Sacrament team that just won the city championship. My daughters and I also go to lots of games. Our favorite memory was going to the historic Notre Dame-UConn women's basketball game at this year's Final Four. Unforgettable. My wife, Ashley, is a West Texan, a graduate of Abilene Cooper Public High School and the University of Texas. She is now the town manager of our community. We met in 2001 when we both worked in the White House. Our first date was on September 10th, 2001. The next morning, I was a few steps behind her as the Secret Service shouted at all of us to sprint out the front gates of the White House because there was an inbound plane. In the difficult weeks that followed, Ashley was a source of strength for President Bush and for everyone in this building. Through bad days and so many better days since then, she has been a great wife and an inspiring mom. I thank God every day for my family. Tomorrow, I begin meeting with members of the Senate, which plays an essential role in this process. I will tell each senator that I revere the Constitution. I believe that an independent judiciary is the crown jewel of our constitutional republic. If confirmed by the Senate, I will keep an open mind in every case, and I will always strive to preserve the Constitution of the United States and the American rule of law. Thank you, Mr. President.
Do you guys want to get you guys want any guests? I've got senators. Hey guys, you guys want any senators? I've got some senators here. Is here, yeah. Hey guys, Jeff Flake. Hey Senator, would you mind doing a live interview on CNN about all this? Would you want to do that, or
No.
you don't want to do it? Okay. Sorry. Yeah, I was just checking to see if you guys wanted to do an interview. Thanks, appreciate it. Thanks. They haven't said yet. No, he doesn't want to do it. No, do they want him if he can? What's that?
They're wrapping it in the panels right now.
Okay. Yeah, I hear you guys fine. I was just checking to see if you guys wanted a senator or something. Yep. Yeah. Do you have disc in the camera? They're rolling. Oh. Senator, do you want to give us just a quick reaction of what you think? You're good? Okay. What about Grassley? Yeah. Are we allowed to exit our pen here? Yeah, you guys sound fine. I hear you just fine. Uh-huh. I only have so much give here. I don't see any. Grassley's already gone. Did you see Ted Cruz?
I don't see Ted Cruz.
We got him last time.
I know. I don't see him. I didn't see him.
Oh, Rod Rosenstein. What about Rod Rosenstein?
That would be.
You want to run over and just ask him? Why don't you run over and ask him? Maybe he knows him. I don't know. Here comes Cornyn. I could try to get Cornyn. Mike Lee, control room. I've got a line of sight on Cornyn and Mike Lee. You guys are interested? You're rolling, right, Mark? Think it's okay to be out? That's as far as I can go. Who? Cornyn? Hey, Senator Cornyn? Cornyn? Senator Cornyn? Excuse me, Senator? I am out of line here. No pun intended. Now I have it. Okay.
Good. They did a good job. Huh?
Shoot, sorry, I ran out of line there. Hey Matt, how you doing? Well, no, Cruz gone. Cruz is gone. Okay. Bill Shine. We could try Bill Shine. John Kyle. My problem is I've got only so much line here. Attorney General. Mr. Attorney General, can I get your comment at all on Justice Kavanaugh? What do you think?
Thank you. You'll be great.
I think we've run out of VIPs in the room, guys. I don't think we're going to get much here. too, or do we stay in here?
Allie, hey, Allie. Allie. Allie? Yes.
They're all gone. Hey guys, all the guests in the room have basically gone, so I think they're about to kick us out. If you want to take us, you might want to take us soon. What's that? You're on the panel? Okay, all right, see you guys. Thanks, we're going to cut loose. Works for me. I do enough damn live shots.
I understand.
You understand where I'm coming from?
Control room, we're going to power the shot down. Power the shot down.
Huh? I got you just fine, yeah. I do. I hear you just fine.
Hey, Eddie.
You okay? What did Sarah say? Allie?
So Mark Short said that Kavanaugh will be confirmed by October 1st. That Merrick, senators,
Yeah, I'm trying to get some information right now. How about I just bark at you and you use that for a level? What were you saying, Allie?
that he'll be nominated or he'll be confirmed by October 1st.
He'll be confirmed by October 1st.
They'll work with the Senate and hopefully with the Self.
That's from Mark Short and Sarah Sanders? Okay. Okay. But she said, I believe we'll have him confirmed by October 1st. Why October 1st? Okay. Maybe that's when the next